How to Build a Sex Room.
Yes. So we binged that whole first season in what, like 2 days maybe?
Yeah.
It was so funny. It was so cute. I enjoyed it. I like the host. I forget her name or whatever. A British lady who is, I suppose, a very well-known interior designer, and somehow or another, she got into making sex rooms for people.
Yeah.
I really like the episodes. I really like how they kind of delved into, to a certain extent, the relationship between the people who were inviting her to, make this sex room for them. It's funny because when you first see and meet the couples, for me at least, I was like, oh yeah, I know who I'm gonna like. I know who I'm not gonna like. I know who I think has actually a good relationship and who doesn't. And then there was one in particular, that one couple where it was like, I think the second marriage. Well, at first they were just together, and they ended up getting engaged on the episode. And at first, especially when she first came in, and she insinuated that they were married, and they were like, "Oh, we're not married." I was like, "Ooh!" And the way that it happened, I was like, "Oh, this is awkward."
The producers made this awkward, real cringe moment,
but their actual relationship was good as fuck. Yeah. I was like, "Okay, look at me with my first impression and getting it wrong."
Yeah, I enjoyed it as well. I think it was smart for them to accentuate the relationships that the couples had, and
they had a polyamorous relationship on there. That was interesting.
All different types of relationships.
How many people were in that polycule? Like 6 people?
It was 6 or 7. It was 7, but I think we only saw 6 of them.
Yeah,
because we were like, what happened to the? But either way, so I mean, it was really heartwarming to be married like we are, and like watch people, and watch people discover themselves and different things with their partner. I thought that was cool, man. And just having her come in and like ask them questions, and there were some couples that were really in a bad spot, honestly, and looking for that intimacy to help essentially keep them together. And just the designs that she was able to do, the challenges that she had. There was one couple that wanted her to turn their camper, basically, or like their van.
Oh yeah, no, because it was their van that they lived in.
It was their van that they lived in,
so that they could have
fun. and they couldn't even sleep next to each other.
No, they had to basically fully redo that because they were like, well, first of all, it doesn't even work for you just fucking living in here,
right?
So let's fix that first, and then we could talk about the outfitting for your sex swing.
Yeah, so I mean, it was really good. I enjoyed it a lot. I mean, it's not like there's not like a whole, narrative for us to really discuss. I just thought it was like one of those kind of feel good shows. You can find out a little bit about different kink, and watching people go through that, and seeing them discover,
and right, because they got introduced to different kinks. They got to see, okay, we experienced this was fun, but it's not really my thing.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. And my main thing that I really liked is that I got him to sit down and watch a home decorating show with me. And who knew? All I had to do was include sex.
I feel like we watch home decorating shows before.
But you're not into it. You were into this. Like, we were having like conversations, and like you were really like, I don't want to say invested, but like you were paying attention. Other times I feel like when we're looking at stuff, or you begrudgingly look at stuff with me, like that's what it is. It's begrudgingly. And you'll say like, oh, okay, yeah, that's a good idea. That looks cool or whatever. I can see you incorporating that, things like that, which I like too, because it shows that you're like to a certain extent watching. But this one, it was different. Like we were both really into it, so I like that. I like when we can enjoy something that I enjoy together. That's something that you might normally.
Yeah, no, I mean, and it was a good show. It was a good show.
Yeah.
Not even a good home decorating show. Not even a good sex show. It's a good show.
Oh yeah, because I mean they talked about sex, but it wasn't very gratuitous in a sense.
It was very.
There was that one lady, that lady and that man, the husband and wife that lived in that trailer and had that. They had like a good amount of space, and so they ended up making the shed.
Oh, on
The
the
sex
farm.
shed. Yeah, on the farm.
Yeah.
When you first met her, she was on a four wheeler with her tits out, and it was like, okay. And like she didn't even give a shit. She had neighbors.
Yeah.
I was like, they could see your boobies, babe.
Yeah, she had kids too.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
Well, a lot of them had kids. Well, not a lot of them. A good couple of them had kids.
So yeah, I mean, it was just a good show. Like I said, the focus on the relationship. You were able to see different pitfalls that people go through over time and different things like that, and what you can try to do to just maintain intimacy and closeness. And it wasn't as gratuitous because I think the host and like her main contractor, they were able to keep it light. They were able
flirted a lot. I was like,
that
if I
shit
was his
weird,
fucking
bro.
wife, I'd be like, not you playing around in the street on a sex bench
First off,
with your coworker.
First off, if it was me and you was the wife, you'd be like, did the check clear? All right, cool.
I mean, possibly.
She got the money. Do what you got to do, babe. Like, do a handstand, get on the bench, do whatever. I don't give a fuck. I need these shoes.
Yeah.
I need this. I need these bills paid. Like, we got kids. Like, I don't know. Like, I didn't really see their relationship as that crazy because I knew what the producers were trying to make
I was
them
just
be.
like, it was kind of weird. And then they was doing it in front of his son. I was like, come on,
Yeah,
man.
that one episode, that was definitely.
Come on. Like, I get that this is supposed to be funny and for ratings and shit like that, but like, gosh darn it. And it's funny how they show, I mean, I think everybody, of course, was sex positive. For you to be on the show and to be asking for this, like, to a certain extent, you're pretty sex positive, right?
Yeah.
But it was also funny where they had that one episode where the girl was a former stripper. And they were like, yeah, she had never danced for her fiance. Or was it her husband? Were they married? They were married.
They were married.
Her husband, like, had never danced. She was a stripper before she met him. I think he knew about it. He's like, yeah, I've never seen her dance. She's never danced for him. And then all of a sudden, they have their sex room. There's a pole. And, like, she dances for them. Which, fine, great. That's because that's what you're looking for, that type of intimacy. But I think it shows you, like, even if you do that type of work, which I guess it's arguable for some people if they consider that sex work or not. I think some people do. And some people don't, whatever. Okay. But to be in that type of work and you think, oh, you must be sexually free, you must be uninhibited. Of course you would do that for your spouse or whatever. And it's like, nope, don't have the time, focusing on my business or whatever. But we do want to get that intimacy, back into our life. And it's just like, so if someone who is like that, and not in a derogatory way, but someone who, has to be, to a certain extent, comfortable in their body, right? Yeah. And showing off their body and being physical in that way can have hang-ups or not show that side of themselves with their partner. You don't have to feel weird for having hang-ups either. It's natural, but there is a way for you to get over that and share yourself with your partner. So maybe that's a little bit more deep than like it really meant to be, but that's one of the things I got from it. I was like, oh, that's cute. I like that.
Yeah. And different couples in different stages of their marriage or their coupling or their relationships. I mean, there were people who had just kind of got together not that long ago. There were people that have been together for a long time. There was that single lady.
Oh yeah, she had gotten divorced.
Wanted to have like a better ability to do certain things. I'm trying not to be as gratuitous.
Her nosy ass neighbor, that shit was funny. She was like, oh hey, what y'all got going on there? And the host was
business.
Like, girl, are you serious? She was like, okay, so we're gonna have to build you a wall because Bethany over there gonna be all up in your business when you bring your little men folk home from your comedy set.
Yeah, but it was cool. I did enjoy it. I'm looking forward to season 2. Hopefully they do a season 2.
Samesies.